Dogecoin holders, I've got a video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about Dogecoin and can it go to $1? Because right now we're seeing the crypto market catch somewhat of a nice bid here, breaking over very, very important price levels. And I'll be showing you guys that because I think this is potentially the first glimmer of hope. We got our first glimmer of hope last week. I think this is some continuation, seeing that maybe, just maybe, we're going to see a gap up in crypto, and that probably will bring Dogecoin up with it. So we're going to be talking about that. So welcome back to Crypto Report. I'm Blacksea. Hit that like button, hit that bell, subscribe to the channel right now. Let's hop in this video. All right, guys. So we are starting off here on crypto Twitter. You can follow me at 333 Blacksea. I say, does anyone care about Dogecoin anymore? Can Doge break above $1 or is it all a dream? Let me know in the comment section below. Do you think it's all a dream or do you really believe in this $1 dream? Is it possible? You know, we've gotten very, very close to it back in 2021 around that time. And this cycle has been quite rough when it comes to altcoins. But I do think that Dogecoin has staying power, guys. It is the #1 meme coin basically since the inception of crypto so far. Will it get surpassed? That's for a different video. But right now, I do think that regardless, you cannot argue that Dogecoin has staying power. It's very associated with Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is not only one of the most influential people in the world, but also one of the most famous people in the entire world. And that's very, very important when it comes to really gaining mind share to pump a coin. And I do think that Dogecoin being associated with Elon Musk is a pretty big deal. Now let's talk about, first off, I believe that a lot of people still care about Dogecoin, but the question is, do people think that $1 Doge is possible? I'm going to break this down for you guys. So first off, I do want to say that right now on 4/20, April 20th here, the Dogecoin holders are calling it Doge Day, all right? And they're celebrating Doge Day because it is basically a day for the SEC to look over the Dogecoin spot ETF. I can't believe we are talking about a Dogecoin spot ETF, a meme coin ETF, guys. Incredible to see that. But hey, the more ETFs we see, I'm all for it. I want to see more ETFs, more meme coin ETFs. I want to see basket ETFs with different cryptos inside of it. This is a step closer and closer to mass adoption. Really, it is adoption altogether. But seeing Dogecoin, if Dogecoin gets a ETF, I think it's a pretty big deal, guys. This entire environment for trading, for basically trading and investing, has become so much more available to the younger generations over the past 10 years. And I do expect that the ETFs will probably catch a bid. Imagine putting a Dogecoin position into your retirement account. I'm not going to do that. I like to trade the altcoins and I like to invest in Bitcoin, but I think that some people, they have high conviction and they want to do that. It's your money. Do it. I think that's great. But regardless, I just like to see these kinds of things happening here where we're seeing the disruptive nature of the crypto market grow and get bigger and get more green lit. I love to see that. So let's look at Doge right now, all right? So Doge is in a very precarious position when it comes to technicals alone here. So we are looking at trading below the important support level of 16 cents, really, about, we'll say it, 16 3/4 cents, all right? And I do want to say that based on what's going on in the crypto market right now, before the opening of the traditional market today, I would say that I would not be surprised if we make our way back above this 16-cent price level here. But let's not put the cart in front of the horse here. We're still in a very uncertain macroeconomic situation, okay, when it comes to the traditional market with all these tariffs. We're in a very narrative-driven market. The second we get some gains, a second later, they can be wiped out, guys. And I don't want to be just a big bear of bad news. I don't want to be a bear. But I just want to be transparent here on the Crypto Report. I don't want to lead you guys to the slaughter. I just want to be honest and tell you guys how I'm really picking apart and putting these puzzle pieces together and seeing what's going on in the entire world of trading and investing, all right? So technicals alone, we are above the most important level in my opinion, which is basically like above 12, 13 cents. This is the bullish trend line, this yellow line you can see right here. you do not want to see us breaking below it or even testing below it. I think like the line in the sand for me, really, for me to say that whether whether we're going to see a reversal, a bullish reversal, or we're going into a longer recessionary period, more sideways and downward price action, would be if we close below basically here at about 14, we'll call it 0.14281 cents on Dogecoin. Okay, important price level, very important price level. We could come and wick to it, yeah, that's fine, but any closures below that, I would sort of say, hey guys, like, let's keep our eyes open on this yellow trend line. And you know, guys, on the Crypto Report, we talk about different scenarios, and you can always make money whether it goes up or down. If you guys do want to be shorting this, you think that Black Sea, you're wrong, we're not going to be catching a bid here. But guys, I've been telling you for a while, I've been keeping my eyes, I've been laying off the shorts. I tell you guys what I do. I put my money where my mouth is, and I've been pulling my shorts back, and I've been watching patiently and diligently for opportunities at long positions. And I think that we may just be, I don't want to jinx it, knock on some wood, guys, that we may just be getting ready for some relief here. But if you do want to take advantage of this volatility, check out in the description box below or pinned comment down below. We have a $5,000 sign-in bonus to Blowfin. All you gotta do is click that link, deposit, trade a little bit. You can get a bunch of free money. Take advantage of their awesome rewards. They've got some awesome rewards. The more you trade, you can win a Rolex, you can win a MacBook Pro. There's lots of different rewards the more trading volume you do. It's not by chance too. So the more you trade, the more things you get. But guys, be patient here. I want to say, like, we're not out of the woods yet, but we are getting some green lights. We are getting some confluence in the idea that maybe, just maybe, we're going to catch some relief here. So looking at Dogecoin right now, we are down 4.81% in the past 7 days, up about 1.14% in the past 24 hours, trading at about 23.89, $24 billion market cap, 16 cents. Okay, guys, but this is why I'm starting to think that we're probably going to be looking at it, getting ready to see some relief, a big bounce. You look at the crypto market right now as a whole, Bitcoin is coming to test a very important level, okay? Very important level. Trading at nearly the important level of 88,000. We'll take a look at that shortly, but trading at $87,287, up 2.38%. Bitcoin dominance still rallying, which is crazy. Trading at basically 65.06% when you exclude stablecoins, okay? But pretty incredible stuff to see this, you know? So let's take a look here. I want to show you a different chart here on Bitcoin. Let's look at this, all right? So we are getting this wick to the upside. Where did we wick to here? We wicked all the way to 87,400, okay? This is a good sign. This is a good sign, all right? I like to see this volume get squeezed because, guys, we were trading so freaking tight for the past 5-6 days, okay? Like, nothing was happening. We were in like a $500 price range, and I haven't seen that play out like that in a long time. Like, look at this flat line here, okay? And it was inevitable that we were going to get a squeeze. Now, the question is, does this get fulfilled, okay? Do we see this play out? We're going to check the weekly as well here shortly because I'm very curious as well because we did just have a weekly candle closure. I was saying that this right here, the closure above basically right here at about 83,400 was the first indicator that, hey, this is the first glimmer of hope at us making a bullish reversal, okay? And right now we are seeing this big candle. It's kind of happening. Like, step 2 is kind of happening, but I do not want to say that that is for sure a thing until we see a test of 88,000. And really what we want to see is a closure above 88K, okay? If we start to see closures above 88,000, I'm going to say, hey guys, this was probably the low here at 74K, and we probably are not going to be going much lower than that for a little bit of time. That's what I'm going to say. But 88K is very, very important to be testing, guys, especially if you are expecting Dogecoin and all the altcoins and all of crypto to really make a move to the upside. And I do want to emphasize here that, yeah, Bitcoin dominance is still rallying. Like, it is, I'm still long Bitcoin versus alts because when we are not in a risk on asset friendly environment, when there's uncertainty with all these tariffs, it takes time for the risk to feel safe. I'll say it until the risk feels safe. All right. So first, when people start to feel a bit more safe, they'll move into Bitcoin, and then have to wait a little while. If the stock market isn't ping-ponging, then they'll move it into not Ethereum. Ethereum is a whole other thing right now, guys, but I'll make a video about that because Ethereum is, the way that Ethereum is acting is kind of spooky, but I digress. But after people move their money into Bitcoin because the risk on assets feel a little bit better, then slowly they'll move it into the altcoins, the bigger alts, and then into the meme coins, aka Dogecoin. So you got to be patient here, guys. You really got to be patient. But I do think that if Bitcoin starts to close here above 88,000, that'll be indicating that we probably have a higher low. And if we have a higher low, and that's the beginning of it happening and playing out, then we probably should be expecting Dogecoin to retake the basically 16.5 cent price level and probably start to range bound between 16.5 and 20 cents. So keep your eyes open for that, guys, because I do expect, the way that this is looking is that we should be seeing a little bit of relief. Let's take a look at the weekly time frame on Bitcoin. So look at that. I like to see that. I like to see we're having some green candles, and we have a green dot on Market Cipher. We have a green dot on Market Cipher on the momentum wave here. I like to see that, guys. The light blue is clipped into the dark blue. We're starting to see things play out here, and also like the money flow as well, starting to curve up. VWAP coming up a little bit. Guys, this could be, there's a good chance that this is the bottom. There's a good chance that this is the bottom, and also there's a good chance that the S&P 500 is bottoming out. But we need to be very cautious here, okay? Like I said, we're in a very narrative-driven market. We could come and test 88K and reject down. We could. So I'm really, really keeping my eyes open on this yellow line here. Need to see daily candle closures above it. And if we see weekly candle closures above, then I'd say, hey, guys, like, we should be keeping our eyes open for 94K. And really, 94K is the last line of defense for the bears, because you could get somewhat of like a dead cat bounce scenario where you come and break down like that. But I don't, based on the 4-year cycles, I'm not buying into that just yet. I think there's a higher likelihood chance that you see something like this happen, where we mimic the 2020 and 2021 bull market, and we find ourselves making a double top or pushing past the double top a little bit, making a new all-time high by October, so September, October, November, around that time. I think that is a likely scenario, guys, that fits the 4-year cycle. So that's my opinion on all this. I thought I'd give you a bigger breakdown because we're starting to see some movement, guys. After the 6 long days of boring price action, we're actually starting to see some progress and some price action play out here. So things are actually happening. So you need to be paying very close attention, guys. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think we're going to see $1 Dogecoin? I think that if we do start to make our way up to new all-time highs on Bitcoin, I think that will probably mean that we're starting to see a pivot for the Fed. And I think that risk on assets are going to be in a much more favorable position, which, aka, I think that Dogecoin is going to catch a bid. So that's my opinion. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think I'm out of touch with the markets? I think I've got my finger on the pulse, to be honest with you. But that's all I got, guys. If you like this type of content, hit that like button. Follow me, 333 Black Sea on Twitter. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.